There's only one that I can really think of off the top of my head.
Let's try to guess it.
You guys probably won't.
Is it the ice cream sandwich with the chocolate chip cookies?
No.
Oh.
The SpongeBob.
Dude.
Is it?
Yo.
Dang.
Straight up, yo.
Sick.
This fucking SpongeBob. Yeah, man.
With the little gumball nose?
Yeah, with the gumball nose. Yeah, man.
Good
the
job,
fucking
Fred,
SpongeBob.
I have no idea
Straight
why
up,
I picked
yo.
that one. Wavelengths.
I was literally thinking about it in my head, man. The
Wavelengths.
SpongeBob one. Yeah, man.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. I'm Freddie P, back in the place to be, and I only have one question for the boys here. How can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay.
Isn't that a Kanye West lyric?
No, that's a new song by this rapper from the UK called Central C, and the song is called Doja. And it's got part of a Dr. Dre beat in it, and then the first lyrics of the song are how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay.
Well, Kanye's is Kanye says some hey, your girl don't like me. How long has she been gay?
Oh, yeah, that's off of
I don't know.
Late Registration. Oh fuck.
I saw it on Rhapsody in the Basement with Big Tigga.
Yeah, that was actually great. It's the song where
That's
with
hilarious.
Brandy or whatever, off of Late Registration. Because I actually really like that song. Oh, your girlfriend don't like me. How long has she been gay?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a sick line, to be honest.
Yeah, it is actually. He has quite a few good. I really like that song. Let me down, never let me. No, fuck, I can't remember the name of the song. Whatever, we won't divulge it. We won't hang up on that. How was everybody's week?
Hot.
Fucking sweating balls.
Yeah, hot as fuck. Yeah.
One of the 3 or 4 of the rooms in my building are temperature controlled, so sometimes just got to make an excuse to go in there in the middle of the fucking day. I imagine that doesn't happen in an asphalt crew or a welding shop.
Well, our lunchroom is air conditioned, so I'll just go sit in there for 5 or 10 minutes, or go to the bathroom and sit on the toilet for 5 or 10 minutes and chill on my phone. We have a couple fans right in our little bay you can stand in front of, but it's kind of blowing around a little bit of hot air. So, I mean,
Fans are only up good to a certain point, otherwise they're just blowing around the air that's already
yeah,
actively moving in
exactly.
there.
You gotta have some cold air that it's blowing around, but yeah, blowing around a bunch of fucking hot air.
Yesterday we paved Jiffy Lube in St. Albert, and we were doing a 38 mil overlay, but we only had 2 trucks. So, and they're hauling from the west, so it was like a 45-minute round trip. And it got so hot we lost the foreman for a bit.
Really?
Yeah, he was just around the corner peeing, but we couldn't find him. So
Is that the one right on
It
fucking...
was just around the corner.
Is that the one
off
right on the
off
hill?
St. Albert Trail, right on the hill. Yeah.
On the hill?
And Wayne, it's 3 lanes, and when Wayne came to pick up the equipment, shut her right down. And Ed was there trying to flag. I'm like, damn, you are the ugliest flag girl I've ever seen.
I remember. Do you remember? Were you there when we paved it the first time? We didn't pave all of it. We patched
Yeah,
it the first
with
time.
Stephen
With
McNow.
fucking Steve. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I hate that
Yeah,
guy.
Have you guys ever seen a super sexy flag girl? We're like, god damn.
One or two, yeah.
Usually at night when I'm sleeping, but no, they're either really too young or too old.
Yeah, that is true. You're not gonna find one that's 25
Our age.
years old
Yeah.
or 30 years old. That's
They're
mint.
18 or 78.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And they look like when
Somebody's daughter or somebody's wife.
Or
Yeah.
grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
Or
Yeah,
the pension didn't just come through.
they
Yeah.
look beat. They look. To be completely honest, they look like fucking. They've been passed around by a crew of Hell's Angels. Old biker bitch.
They look like who do you hate, Dad? They look like Dina Hinshaw.
That she's like a
Remember you said she had a face like a
politician
boiled
or
boot?
whatever.
The health minister.
Oh yeah,
from-
Dina Hinshaw. Yeah. Face like a boiled boot. Yeah, man. An old catcher's mitt.
Spalding.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but even last week when you and I went to the brew house, the waitress was kind of flirting with you a little bit, and then at the end we asked how old she is. She's 20 or 19 or something.
That's,
We're like,
that's a no go.
oh, never mind. Oh no, the pint we went to. Sorry, the pint.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, man. We're talking about Ricky Martin because back when I was younger.
Yeah, he's
First
in
off, it
trouble,
was
too.
playing in the bar.
Yeah, it was playing in
What,
the bar.
Live and
Yeah.
La Vida Loca?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gang,
And for some reason I thought about when I was younger. People used to be like, "Oh man, you look like Ricky Martin," and Fred's like, "Yeah, I don't really know what the guy looks like."
Like I knew what he looked like, but I don't like remember what he looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I pulled it up on my phone, and then she just happened to come by, and Fred was like, "Yo, everybody says he used to look like him. Does he look like him?" And she's like, "Who the fuck is that?" I was like, "Yo,
Yeah, I was like, "Does he look like Ricky Martin?" She's like, "Who the? No, am I supposed to know who the fuck Ricky Martin is?"
Yeah.
We were like, How
Yeah.
old are you?" She's like 19. We're like, "No, you're not supposed to know how old
No.
Ricky Martin is."
You know he's in some big trouble right now, eh?
something
What
with
is
like
he,
a family
rapist?
member or some shit.
Him and his nephew were in an illegitimate relationship, an underage one, and then his nephew got tired of it and and then Ricky Martin started stalking him and everything. So yeah,
Really?
he's in some serious
I did hear he was
trouble.
not straight.
Well,
Wow.
that's a given.
And his fucking
Shocking.
with his fucking nephew.
That's the crazy part. Yeah, that's a vetted news story too. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I thought that only happened in Alabama. Places like
Or
Alabama.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Arkansas. Yeah, that's a weird thing, hey? How Kansas is pronounced Kansas and Arkansas is pronounced Arkansas.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I think one like a little theme we could have a little bit is there's two things I kind of want to talk about. One, Nico finally made his soccer debut for the co-ed team that I currently play on, and scored 2 goals, which was pretty nice. One of them we got on film, so maybe we can throw it into the podcast
Yeah,
here
buddy.
somewhere. Dangling some poor innocent girl who didn't see it coming.
2 of them.
2 of them.
2 of them.
All right foot.
Yeah. 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 No left foot at all, man.
What is that? What are you guys implying? by
Oh, it's
that?
like basketball if you only have a right hand, you know what I mean?
Oh, so it
It's
was like
just
one was tied behind your back type of thing.
Well, no.
It just the other one might as well be because he's never using
No,
it.
I don't
you
mean
know?
it
yeah,
actually was,
Yeah, you
but-
just
Yeah.
never use your left foot because your right foot is so dominant and your left foot is like
So poopy.
so poopy. Yeah, if you use your left foot, you're not. I would have never scored that if I used my left foot. Beast.
Beast over there in her box or his box.
Meow.
Guy, girl. I don't
She's
even
a
know.
lady.
She's a lady. She's a lady. Yeah, I actually scored a pretty decently nice goal too, but I
Should've
probably
had
should have
more.
had fucking 5. Yeah, it wasn't a very good outing for me. I mean, I still scored twice, but I should have had fucking 5. We played like a tremendously bad team. But I just wanted to give Nico a little shout so we could get his little video in the podcast.
I saw
Fuck
I
yeah.
saw the video, but it kind of looked a
It's
little
far
bit.
away.
Yeah, it's a cell phone from like 70
Yeah.
yards.
I'll see if I could maybe do something with that, but it
Ah,
almost looked
fuck.
like it was recorded on like a cantaloupe or something.
Or a potato or something.
Yeah, potato, some sort
calculator.
of starchy vegetable.
Something that I think that we could talk about that it like spawns from the soccer world, but it kind of like could lead to a bigger topic. Is there's a Brazilian soccer player named what the fuck's his first name?
I don't even know.
Yeah, his name Casemiro is how the world knows him. Casemiro. What the fuck is his first name?
I don't even think I've ever heard his first name. He's probably got like 6 names. And
Yeah.
Casemiro's
It's like Madonna. It just says Casemiro. It's like Cher. Oh, Carlos Enrique Casemiro.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Casemiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone refer to him as
No.
Carlos Casemiro.
No.
Anyway, he's like one of the best players in his position in the world, and he played the last, I don't know, we'll say 6 years, maybe even more, for Real Madrid, and he's like the heart of their they have a solid midfield that they line up with every week, but he's a penned in player for Real Madrid, super important. He's won like 5 Champions Leagues or 4 Champions Leagues, at least 3 because they repeated.
He's got 5.
He's got 5 Champions Leagues, couple of Ligas. Real Madrid is looking no weaker now than they ever have. They still look like a strong team. And he has 4
4?
Champions Leagues? Okay.
What's
So he
this
probably won one, and then they did
4
the
in
three-peat.
5 years. It says.
He was only there for 5
It
years?
says but he also has 15 major trophies at Real Madrid.
Yeah, I
Which
could
is
see
pretty
that.
cool,
a couple
I'm
Club
guessing.
World
Well, I
Cups,
s-
couple La Liga,
Well, I saw a
couple
thing
Copa del
today.
Reyes.
Saw a thing today, and it showed like each cup that they won.
The little, I love when they do that. The
Yeah.
picture of them with like, sometimes it's real, but even when they Photoshop it, it looks super
Well,
cool.
yeah, it was just like Champions League 5, La
Oh.
Liga 4, or whatever, and then
Maybe that was backwards. No, there's no way he's won La Liga 5
It's
times.
no.
Yeah.
It says sorry.
it
but
was
it-
the elephant years, so that's why I know it was
Yeah.
Champions League. Was it only 4?
It says 4, then 5 UEFA Champions Leagues.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one. Yeah.
And then 3 La Liga titles, 1 Copa del Rey, and 3 FIFA World Cup trophies. Club World trophies.
Club
Club
World
World
Cups,
Cups.
yeah.
Yeah. That's fuck all.
What's the difference
it's
between
fuck
World
all.
Cup and Club World Cup?
The club world. So every continent has a soccer federation. So like Europe has one, South America
Like
has
their own
one.
league or governing body over their soccer? What do you mean by
Governing body
Okay.
over the whole soccer. So for instance, North America's is called CONCACAF. Teams from the Caribbean, Mexico, America, and Canada. Not their national teams. Teams from their FC Edmontons, the LA Galaxies, the whatever. In Europe, we're talking Manchester United. Every team that's in the continental Europe. Asia has one. Africa has one. Every year there's a tournament where all of the best teams from those league play. That's what he's won 4 or 5 times. Whatever. That's the Champions League. The UEFA Champions League is that for Europe. So then there's another one of those for Asia. There's another one of those for South America. There's another one of those for North America. Then all of those winners play in like a super, super short tournament at the very, very, very end of the season. Or the
Gotcha.
beginning of the next one. I can't remember. I think it's the end of the...
Kind of like a champions tournament.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, Flamingo from Brazil will be there. And then, I don't know, fucking somebody from Asia will be there. And then...
Shanghai Shenhua.
Sure. And then, yeah, a
Yeah,
European
yeah.
team. It's almost the European team wins almost every time. Sometimes the South American team will win. Sometimes, very rarely. But anyway, what I'm saying is he was at a pretty much his dream role. There was really nowhere he could go up from where he was. I guess he only has a year or two left on his contract, but I mean, I guess you can look. He can't be very old. He can't even.
I think he's 30.
He's 30 years old.
So he's got at least 2 or 3 more years in soccer.
That's
at
it.
At the top flight, I was
Wow.
gonna
Well, what
say.
is this soccer? Does the soccer player's prime differ from any other pro sports prime, or is it usually like between 25, 30 type of thing, or?
I feel like a lot of good players that played previously retired like 31, 32. Like there's Ronaldo's like
He's
an anomaly.
He's LeBron James though. He's Tom Brady. He's the
Yeah.
you can't use him as a
you
reference.
can't you can't really use him. He's like in the top shape. Like you could say he's still in the top shape of his prime. Whether he's playing to his prime, obviously not, but yeah, you can't really use him. But I would say like 34.
Yeah, I'd say it's very similar to other sports, as in like the ages that we understood players getting old and falling out of being like top flight players was like 30 to 33. But now they're all taking care of their body so much better. They're all eating so much better. Some of them are probably doing the steroids they can get away with and blah blah blah. So now, like an NBA player, if your team signs like a good NBA player and he's 34, but you only signed him to a 1-year contract, you're not really worried about it. Like he can still put up buckets. Is he going to be LeBron or Dirk Nowitzki or some of these people that have like 20-year careers? Maybe not, but that's becoming more and more, like less and less rare. It's happening more and more frequently that people are having longer careers. Like, I don't know, Xavi and Iniesta both seem to phase out at like 35, 36.
I think it's even earlier, or probably a little bit earlier.
Or even
I think.
earlier, yeah, 34, 35.
Yeah, because I think 30. I think Iniesta's like 34 right now, and he's playing in fucking China or some shit, and Japan, and like he's been there for a couple years at least.
INESTA.
INIESTA.
INESTA.
Oh, Iniesta. Okay.
Yeah.
Phonetics.
But he kind of did a favor to Barcelona, right? He was like, yo, I can't contribute every week. I don't want to be here on a big wage. If I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
contributing every week, I'm going to dip out
You
of
guys
here.
are brokies.
Well, then they weren't.
No,
but
then
yeah.
they
Well,
weren't.
I'm
It's
sure
a-
they were on their way. But
It says he's the captain of the J1 League club Vissel Kobe.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with Kobe Bryant? Or
No.
Oh,
no, that's just a place in Japan.
because I know Kobe was a soccer fan too.
Yeah, big time because he grew up in Italy.
Italy, yeah. I just didn't know if that had something to do with each other.
Yo, pass the ball. No.
There's no I in team. Yeah, but there's an M and an E, motherfucker.
An iron win. So anyway, the news is that Casemiro is leaving Real Madrid to go join Manchester United, which is a fucking dumpster fire. They're like, you turn real quick because you look like that, because everybody knows Manchester United, and you think that they'd be like this. Well, I mean, they are still kind of a glorious location to go to, but like they're dog shit as far as like a team. It'd be like, well, soccer doesn't have like salary caps and shit like that. So it'd be like in the NBA if you played for like the Lakers or you played. Well, I guess the Lakers are kind of dog
The
shit now too.
Yankees.
If you played for the Yankees or you played for the Golden State Warriors, it's like if Draymond Green playing for the Golden State Warriors had a year left on his contract and just went to management and was like, "Yo, I want a new challenge. Trade me to the fucking Sacramento Kings, a team that never makes
Yeah.
the playoffs, that gets
Yeah.
blown out all the time." Now, the Kings aren't necessarily as bad as United. That's a bit of a stretch, but it's because the sports are different. But that's like the biggest. It's like
Comparison.
if you were on the New England Patriots back then when Tom Brady was there and like you're getting to the finals every year and you're like their kicker, what was their kicker's name? Not Vinatieri, but whatever. You're like the kicker, you're a good player, you're putting up points every year, the team relies on, like, you're not a fucking scrub by any means. And then all of a sudden you're got 1 year left, you're getting a little old and you're like, yeah, trade me to the
Jets.
Jets, exactly. I was going to say
Yeah.
the Dolphins, but yeah, the Jets. Trade me to the Jets just because they're going to sign me for 3 years instead of 1 year, and they're going to pay me the bag, and I want a new challenge. And it's like, dude, what are you doing?
I couldn't agree more. That's
So that's like the thing that I want to discuss. If you could try to make it your career, and you were really good at your company was the shit, but then like a smaller, struggling company was like, man, we want to make you like the big guy here. Do you guys think you would do it and like go and try to like right that ship and be like the guy that saves the day more or less, or do you think you're like, fuck, man, grass isn't always greener. I got it good right where I'm at.
well. With that being said, I don't think Casemiro's gonna be the guy to take them any much farther than they already are. Ronaldo should have been the guy to do that. Obviously, he's a little.
Did they have Salah or is that Man City?
That's
That's Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. See, I know nothing.
You're getting close.
I'm in the
You're
right
getting-
continent.
you're-
at
yeah,
least.
you're
Or
getting
not
there.
continent, country. Yeah.
You're
well,
getting
yeah.
there. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be the guy, but like slowly, it's starting to look like an old Real Madrid team with fucking Varane, Casemiro, and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, no, I don't know if I would change teams to be the big dog at another club, even though you're fucking losing, because I don't like losing.
Oh, I fucking hate losing.
I don't think anyone really likes losing, but it's something you probably have to end up being able to deal with at
Oh,
a
for
sane
sure.
level, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's gonna happen.
Even-
Yeah, you have to learn to accept it.
I guess I wonder what the role would be if you are you going there to save the organization, or are you going there to be a mentor to the younger kids to maybe save them in the future? Like, what's your role going to be when you get over there? Because if you're going there, you're past your prime. You know you're past your prime, but they want you to be the producer, the productive guy, and you know you can't fill those shoes. Then
Not quite that. I mean, he will. Apparently, he's like extremely good in the locker room, and like a bunch of players on his team are writing farewell messages, and they're all saying like, "I'll miss you on the field, but I'll miss you off it." Even, and of course, you know every athlete says that. Blah 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 blah. But apparently, he is a really good locker guy. But Man United have been looking for like holding a number 6, the position that he plays for like years. And like the meme that always happens is like, oh, United needs a number 6. We'll sign a winger and a center back. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I need a center in basketball, but then you fucking
Hire a
you
point guard.
You get a point guard and a wing player, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, we already had a point guard and a wing player, but great, I guess now we got 2 of those guys. Sweet. We still need a fucking center.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that for a bunch of years, and then it's like you need a center, and you go out and you get like fucking Giannis or fucking Joel Embiid or something. Like, he is one of the best players in his position in the world for sure. Like, that's for sure. Any team would want him. So the fact that he's going to United is fucking ridiculous. United lost last week to a team called Brentford, which is like the Premier League and English soccer's equivalent of the Oakland A's right now, is they're playing Moneyball and trying to like make a good team off like a shittier budget or whatever. And United hadn't lost to them in I think it was like 90 years or 130 years or some dumb fucking number. And then they lost 4-0. And all the 4 goals came in the first like 35 minutes. Like, the other team took their foot off the pedal. And they're fucking Brentford. Like,
Yeah, they're a garbage team.
isn't that a place in Ontario?
probably.
Brampton.
Brantford.
There's a Brantford?
Yeah, I was just trying to make it. I think there is. What if I'm wrong?
I know there's Brampton.
Maybe is it Saskatchewan? Anyways, sorry. Ontario. It's Ontario.
Ontario.
So yeah, that was just kind of like Nico and I have been talking about the last couple days because he's been linked for this move. It's actually really happened in the last like 48 hours. But we just been thinking like, what is this guy thinking, man? Like it's such an idiot decision.
He's probably getting coaxed by Varane and Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit.
And I mean, money doesn't hurt, but like you and I were saying, like, why wouldn't you just run out your contract at Madrid, where I'm sure you're earning great fucking money, and then move to the MLS and play for fucking Inter Miami for 2 years and make even more money and live in fucking Miami and fucking.
Instead of going to Manchester shithole.
Like, is that like similar to what Zlatan did?
Exactly.
Just go
Well,
to
he
the-
hopped around a little bit more.
But
He went to MLS. Then
Yeah,
he
but
went
he
back
ended
to
up there,
Europe,
made his
but-
money, and then went
Yeah,
back.
he's
and
back now.
Yeah, lots of people do that.
Well, like-
Wayne Rooney did that. Frank Lampard
Beckham.
did that. Thierry Henry did that. David Villa did that. Fucking
Lorenzo Insigne just
Lorenzo
went.
Insigne's doing it right now. Gareth Bale's doing it right now.
I think it's Bernadeschi
doing
left.
it right now. Giorgio Chiellini's doing it right now.
That's like a lot of people are taking that route now, closer to the end of their career.
Which, I mean, you can't blame them. I
Fuck
mean,
no.
Fucking nice, sick, fat payday at the end of your career.
Yeah, and like the competition level is probably a little bit lower.
You can still go be like a good player. You can extend your good playerness or your key playerness or your all-star playerness if you're like a Gareth Bale for a solid like 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah, and you can
Look at,
continue to have a little bit of a legacy.
Look at Sebastian Giovinco. Sebastian Giovinco
Yeah,
was
man.
on the end of the bench at Juventus. Juventus at the time, one of the best teams in the world, the best team in Italy. They've kind of fallen off since, but they were fucking walking on clouds. Sebastian Giovinco is undersized. He's at the end of the bench on the Italy team, if even making a call up. He's on the end of the bench at Juventus. Goes to fucking Toronto FC, kills it for like 2 years,
I think more than that.
3 years.
Yeah.
And then gets a big money move to Saudi Arabia.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he's in Qatar or Saudi Arabia or Dubai. He's in one of
playing
those.
on the Live Tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he will go down as a Toronto FC legend for sure, without a doubt, man.
100%.
Yeah, if there was a top 11 for Toronto FC, he would
Hendon.
be first name on the team
First
sheet.
name,
Yeah, man.
First name.
He was fucking sick.
Yeah, dude. The atomic ant. He was killing it. And then there's such a strong Italian community in Toronto that they like extra loved it and all that shit. But yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird thing that's been kind of I've just been thinking about it the other day. Like I'm just trying to think of being him. Like, do you really want that much of a new challenge? Because that's what every athlete says. Oh, I want a new challenge. But like, were you really that bored of just fucking running shit at Madrid? Like, did that really bore you?
And now you got to go start from the bottom. Legitimately,
They're not even in the Champions League.
Yeah, they're not even in the Champions League, and they're probably at the bottom of the table.
Are they even in Europa League? Did they even finish top 7? Can you Google
6, isn't it?
top 6? Yeah, can you Google 2021-2022 Premier League table? Because if they're not even in Europa League, like, damn.
Yeah, dude. There's no point in even going. You still got 2 years before you even. You got to win this year, and then you got to wait till next year.
To even have a chance.
To even have a
be
chance
in
to play, yeah.
You be in the race.
I think they might be in the Europa League.
But that's the whole reason why Ronaldo wants to leave, right? Because they're not in the Champions League,
League.
and he wants to be he wants to get the
Record.
gap above Messi higher before he calls it quits.
Yeah, I think he wants to have the record for most goals scored in a group stage or something like that. Messi has, I think it's in the group stages. Messi's got more goals.
Liverpool, Manchester City, Tottenham.
No, that's 2 years ago then.
It says 2022.
No, because City won last year.
City won last
And
year.
Liverpool won the year before that. That was the COVID season. Yeah, because Liverpool waited fucking like 30 years to win the championship. Then the year they won.
So is it
fans weren't allowed in.
22-23 then?
But wouldn't that be this season?
Is that what you're asking though?
No, but I want last year.
Well, that was last year, 21-22.
Go 22-23.
But that would be this year.
Mm,
Because it starts right now, and then the 23rd comes in
I
January.
guess.
Do last season Premier League table.
Yeah.
But City won last year. I remember because I had a bet on them. And they came back against Villa on the last day. They were 2-0 down. Money. Sorry, we're just sitting here waiting for you to find this now.
Yeah.
And the worst part is
That's
it's not
okay.
even really
I'm
going to
try-
contribute to much more of the conversation. The conversation's
It's just showing up. Yeah, I'm trying here, boys.
whatever. Fuck it. Jamie failed us. No, I'm just kidding.
Robert Lewandowski. Let's talk about him.
Getting robbed.
Getting robbed, yeah. Did he get, was it at like gunpoint or knife point or some
I didn't
shit?
read any of that. I don't know what they had or what they didn't have to rob them. But yeah, famous Polish soccer player plays for Barcelona, was getting ready to go to their game on the weekend or go to training or whatever it was. I can't remember. And he hopped in his vehicle, and apparently, from what I read, when he hopped in the driver's side, he like unlocked both doors or whatever, and someone else hopped in the passenger side. And I guess probably had some sort of weapon, whatever, robbed him of his $75,000, €75,000 watch, and then took off running. But apparently the guy hopped out of his vehicle and took off running down the street after the guy chasing him. And then they like ran past some cops, and the cops looked at each other and were like, was that fucking Robert Lewandowski just chasing somebody down the street? So then they decided to start investigating it, and yeah, apparently they got his watch back, and the guy went to jail. Didn't end up robbing him.
That's fucking crazy. I don't know why you would, like, welcome to Barcelona. Give me your watch, bitch.
Hey, man.
You know what
They
I
don't give
mean?
a
Like,
fuck.
bunch of fucking ruthless fucks.
Look at all the rappers getting robbed.
It says Manchester United in 2021-2022 was 6th.
Yeah, they made it.
Manchester United. Manchester City was number 1. Liverpool was number 2.
That's right,
Chelsea
yeah.
was number 3. According to Wikipedia. And then Tottenham Hotspur was 4th. Arsenal was 5th. Manchester United was 6th.
What year did you say that was?
21-22.
Yeah. And then 2021 would have been Liverpool. Yeah. Makes sense.
20.
So is that the right information?
Yes,
Yes.
you got her.
So they did make the Europa League, but still, leaving Madrid to go play in the Europa League, like, fuck all the way off.
Yeah, I agree. That's fucking stupid.
I don't get it. I don't I mean, I guess money, man. You come from Brazil, you come from some slum, but
They already got money. They
yeah,
already
what's
got
the
money.
difference? I mean, even if your wage does get, oh, fuck, man. If your wage got doubled, I'm like, fuck. Double's a lot.
Especially when you're making $250,000 a week,
Yeah, he's probably on like $400K a week or something now. Like, fuck.
which is
Retarded,
ridiculous. Yeah, I'll go buy this car. I'll pay you right now. Fuck cash money.
Cash.
Fuck it. These
Black
motherfuckers.
card.
These motherfuckers got so much money they don't even like. They don't even look at their bank account. Like Andrew Tate. We're gonna bring this bitch up.
I'm so glad that you called him a bitch, though.
Tate speech, bro. No, he was like, man, when you have so much money, everything is free. Everything is essentially
Yeah, the richer you
free.
get, the more shit you get for free.
Well, but like that's not even what I mean, or that's not really what he means when he says that. He's like, yo, like I have so much money that like I'm buying it. Yes, I'm paying for it, but it's essentially free because I don't have to go and fucking like I don't go look at my bank account. You and me are like, oh, we're gonna go buy a car. He's just like, yo, calls up fucking Ferrari and is like, yo, I want this car. And it's like, okay, well, the money just comes out of his account. He doesn't even look at his account because he doesn't care that $250,000 just came out because he's got so much. It's like everything's fucking free. It seems like everything's free anyway. It's not actually, but it's just...
Yeah, like the value of $1 means like nothing.
Exactly. It's exactly it. And he was like, what else did he say? I forgot what he was saying. But yeah, he essentially, man, everything is fucking free, man. You don't even have to worry about it. Because fucking you got
Hey,
so
man,
much
but
money.
eventually that runs out. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Apparently he's broke.
Really?
Allegedly. Well, that everyone says he's been broke for a minute, and that's why he takes all these like celebrity fights and like exhibition fights, quote unquote, to stay money. Apparently that guy's barber charges him like $250 a day to cut his hair, and he gets his hair cut every day. The motherfucker's bald. Like, so you just pay somebody to like bick your head, $250 every day to bick your head. Have you ever seen the video of all of his watch collection?
No.
Oh my goodness, man.
Dude, I saw one of him saying that he's in Romania and they're not allowed to have guns there. So he designated his house as a shooting range so that he could therefore have guns. And they his gun collection, and a couple people did videos on it. And they're like 4 of those are airsoft guns.
Andrew Tate?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And they could tell by the handle design and everything, like they were apparent. I mean, I don't know if that's 100% true, but they did a little bit of an in-depth dive, and there was a bunch of them that were airsoft guns. So
Yeah, apparently a bunch of shit about him's phony. That's like now being like called out more and more and more.
we should get Nico a subscription to Hustlers University,
You know what's...
and we should freaking make him.
Is that-
that's
is that-
his thing.
Yeah.
His
Okay.
$49.99 whatever thing.
Yeah.
And we can get him to infiltrate it.
What is it? What is it? Just a
So,
pyramid scheme?
my
Yes, exactly.
Well, what do you call it? My buddy from work actually subscribed to that.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
So I guess he subscribed to it before I knew. He subscribed to it, and then I was talking to him about it. I was like, yeah, Hustlers University. He's like, yo, I got that shit. I was like, yo, let me see it. Like, he hands me his phone, and I'm like looking through it. It's like a Discord and shit. You go on there, and it's like the fucking Discord that I had when I was in that FIFA trading group.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking style. And I was like sitting there looking through it, and like, dude's like, yo, give me your phone back. It's like, bro, you just gave this to me 20 seconds ago. What am I supposed to do? Go like this and give it back to you? Like, I want to see what the kind of content it's got in here. So I looked at it for about 10 minutes, and it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to navigate through and figure out what you're looking at. But essentially, he got, I think he said 16 millionaires or some shit that are on there that are like moderators, and they send out information on how to make money and shit. And there was like a bunch of drop shipping things in there, like how to make money on TikTok and how to make money this way, how to make money that way. And like, I mean, there's probably some legit information in there, but to pay $50 a month, I mean, I guess that's not bad if you're actually using it and making money from it, which is possible. I even saw on Instagram the other day, it pops up every once in a while. Buddy's like, oh, go to fucking Amazon. Go look at this product. This product says that there is fucking 500 units sold monthly. Now go, and they're selling for $25 a piece. Now you go to Alibaba and you find that same product on Alibaba for $10. You go and buy fucking, you go and buy 1,000 of them. And now you send them to Amazon, or you go create an Amazon account. Go send them to Amazon. Amazon fucking stores everything for you. Amazon sells it for you and then just sends you a bunch of fucking money. So, like, there is money to be made with very little work involved. All you got to do is do a little bit of research, go buy the products, and then send it away once. There's money to be made, but I could see Andrew Tate being a little bit of a phony. I watched a podcast with him, and he's like, man, I don't even own anything. But he was like, well, what about all those supercars? He's like, yo, those are subsidiaries of some Shell oil tycoon or some shit, and they just give it to him, probably in exchange for something. Yeah, I don't know.
Hose.
Maybe he's trafficking these hoes.
Pretty sure that's what they do now. Is they do barter services. So they instead of exchanging money, they're just trading goods and services with each other. Like, your thing benefits me, so I'll use that, and in return, if my thing benefits you, you can use that, and then it's kind of off the books. You know.
Apparently, he comes from like daddy money, allegedly.
His dad was a grand chess master, from what what he says in his videos.
I heard that as well, yes, and I've also heard. Who was that guy talking? There's some guy talking shit about him. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
There's a guy
Fuck, man, I can't remember his name.
He's kind of like a big dude, eh?
True Georgie.
Oh yeah, Jordy.
Jordy.
Oh,
like
you
the
talking? Did you watch The Flagrant?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
true Geordie, like Geordie people from
Yeah, from
Liverpool or whatever.
Newcastle.
Newcastle,
Newcastle, yeah.
True Geordie, that's his name. And he's like a podcaster from the UK, and apparently these guys have had beef for like 4 years, and they talk a bunch of shit to each other. And yeah, most of the things I'm saying, he said that he's from like Family Money or some shit. He's like, man, that guy's dad didn't give him enough hugs as a kid. He's like, you don't develop a complex like that if your dad hugged you enough.
Well,
He's got
yeah.
a twin brother too.
Tristan.
Tristan, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's also a kickboxer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, on one of the podcasts I watched, he always talked about being broke and shit, growing up being broke and like not being able to afford anything. And it's like, well, were you actually broke or did you have money or like?
Well, that's kind of the thing people say now these days. Like, I came from nothing. This is what I
Meanwhile,
got.
they
When
had.
meanwhile, they were living in a gated community. Like,
Oh yeah, like there's
Well-
always that one meme where it's like, man, I remember things were tough growing up in the trenches. We didn't have much, and then like the picture that the meme is like a nice little cul-de-sac, everything gated community and shit like that.
yeah, man.
In the trenches, everyone likes to say in the trenches.
Well, he was from Luton. I'm pretty sure he's from Luton, is where he grew up, or Luton, or whatever the fuck
I
you
think
want
it's
to call
Luton
it.
Town, yeah.
Luton Town. Apparently, that place is like fucking. Pretty sure it's like high end ballin'. Like I'm pretty sure it's like expensive to live there. Is
Like a
what?
Beverly Hills type thing. Like
Yeah.
a zip code that gives you prominence because you live
Yes,
there?
exactly. Yes, I think it's like a wealthy little city or town or whatever the fuck it is.
Like I remember on Entourage when Johnny Drama gets his condo and it's in the 90210 area code, and then a fire station or something opens over there, so they redistrict the zip codes,
Yeah,
and it gets
yeah.
moved out of 90210.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
fucking cheesed about it.
What does it say about Luton?
It's a town and borough with unitary authority status in the ceremonial county of Bedfordshire in the UK. I'm just trying to find some stuff about its
Did
economy.
you just say near the UK?
No, in the UK.
I was gonna say I think it's in the.
And I'm pretty sure Bedfordshire is like a province.
Luton's economy has traditionally been focused on several different areas of industry, including car manufacturing, engineering, and millinery, which I don't have any clue what it is the design, manufacture, and sale of hats and other headwear.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. However, today Luton is moving towards a service-based economy, mainly in the retail and airport sectors. Doesn't say anything about them being super affluent,
Fair enough.
but I'm just scratching the surface. So continue on.
Cool.
You don't watch Better Call Saul, right, Zach?
I do, yeah. I've seen the first season, but that's it.
Oh man.
So I shouldn't say I watch it. I've watched it. I
And
like
I know
it.
you don't watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
No, I
Better
don't.
Call Saul just ended on Monday.
Was it-
last month.
was it
good.
satisfying
Like the
to you?
series finale. I think it was super satisfying. Do either of you give a fuck if I talk about this for a couple
No,
minutes?
I'll fucking forget about it anyway.
So, do you guys even know how like Breaking Bad ends?
Yeah.
It's one of the only episodes I saw.
Okay, so yeah, you
Dead
guys,
serious, man. I remember we were sitting at the bucket.
yeah,
we were all sitting at the bucket. Well, I remember everybody got together for that day to watch it, and I was like, you know, guys, I've never actually watched this show. Like, I think I saw the very first. At that time, I saw the very first episode and the very last episode. Now I've
Nice.
watched like
Some of them.
season 1 and like 2 episodes of season 2.
Okay. So yeah, spoiler alert for anybody watching this. If you don't want to hear about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, fast forward like 10 minutes. Well, whatever. 5 minutes. So in Breaking Bad, Walter White builds this like multi-million-dollar meth empire, and then at the end of it, he goes out in a blaze of glory and catches a bullet and dies. El Camino comes out, which shows Jesse driving away from everybody dying. Jesse was being held captive by these like badass drug dealer dudes. Walter White frees him. Jesse gets away and he lives happily ever after. I mean, I guess he's still on the run, but he gets away. No one really knows what happened to Saul. So, you knew that there's a character in Breaking Bad that makes people disappear, like gets you a whole brand new identity and shit like that. You phone him and he fucking, once you accept that phone call, he tells you where to go and like say goodbye to your loved ones and all that shit. Pack your shit, you're gone. The person you were at that time ceases to exist. You're a whole brand new person. So Saul relocates to Omaha, Nebraska, and his name is Gene, and he's working in a Cinnabon store. He's the general manager of a Cinnabon store in a mall. He can only live like that for so long. He ends up doing scams again, blah, blah, blah. A cab driver had recognized him from being in Albuquerque. He starts doing scams with the guy. The guy's mom, who saw like kind of like frauds, that they have like a semi-romantic / friends relationship, but he's just like being fraudulent the whole time. She puts together that he's from Albuquerque and then Googles con men in Albuquerque, and Saul Goodman comes up, so she calls the cops on him and he ends up going to jail. He ends up getting arrested. He's facing life plus 96 years, and he's talking to the feds because they're pinning everything on him. Like, everything that happened in Breaking Bad, like 2 DEA agents died, they made fucking millions of dollars selling meth, ruined whole communities, blah 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 blah. Yeah, what's up, Beast? So he's such a good lawyer or whatever. He's, Saul. He's so greasy. He like whittles it down to 7.5 years in a jail that he chooses, which was Bernie Madoff's jail, so that he can be a part of the golf program. And the CIA is like, dude, there's no way we can let you get away with this. But he does some greasy shit that the DEA agent trying to prosecute him had never lost a case. And then he says this big fucking... he says this big story about how Walter White met him and stuck a gun to his head, which is true. And he's like, this guy is such a horrendous person. He got like 20 people killed in the span of 2 minutes, which is also true. And he's painting this big sob story that he was a victim and he had to do it and blah, blah, blah. And the DEA agent guy's like, you really think you could convince a jury of that? And he's like, or he said like 12 jury members of that? And he's like, no, but maybe one. And he's like, that's all I need is to convince one of them that I was a fucking victim. And the DEA agent's like, man. So then that guy's ego comes into play and he doesn't want to lose his perfect conviction rating. So that's why he starts making this deal with him and he gets down to 7.5 years. In Better Call Saul, he had a relationship and was married to a actress or whatever, a lawyer at the time. The two of them get divorced in Better Call Saul. They haven't spoken to each other. She relocates to Florida to live some boring life. She comes back. He does some other shit. I'll wrap this up. He does some other shit and brings her back for the trial. And he's getting ready to... He's off. The judge is about to accept the case. He's made millions of dollars doing all this horrendous shit. He's got diamonds stashed. He's got money stashed. He's going to get away with 7.5 years at like the best prison he could go to. And then pretty much like snitches himself out. He starts saying the same fucking bad speech. And then when he gets to the point where like I'm a victim, he's like... But I'm not going to lie, I love that shit. I was fucking making millions while he was selling meth. If it wasn't for me, he would have been locked up in like a month. He falls on the sword and takes all the rap for it. Ends up getting like 86 years in jail. And then the show just ends with like him in jail. And it's just like, it's fucked up because the whole show and all of Breaking Bad, he's like the skeezy lawyer who never admits fault, always blaming other people, always conning other people, doing like cons on people and fucked up shit. And then right at the end, he just like
takes all the heat
pretty much and just like, yeah, man, I did everything. Like I did this, I did that. If it wasn't for me, none of this shit would have even happened. And it's like, he's like, it was right there. Like all he had to do was shut the fuck up and he's only getting 7.5 years. And then as he's getting ready to talk it, the judge is like, and he's like, I'm a lawyer. Like I understand what I'm doing. And then proceeds to be like, yeah, I did all that shit. I'm a fucking monster. But yeah, I don't know, it actually made to like a really good show.
Just couldn't get out of his own way, eh?
You could tell by the end he made like the character arc is that his brother was like the whitest knight, good lawyer, blah blah blah, and he was the exact opposite. And then he drives his brother to kill himself, but he pushes that off. He gets another lawyer killed, he pushes that off. All the heinous shit in Breaking Bad, he pushes all that shit off, and it's never him, never him, never him. And then at the end, it's just like, all right, man, that was me, and I knew it was me the whole time, and like, I deserve to go to jail. Like, I gotta go to fucking jail. And it was just, I don't know, it was a dope show. It was dope to see it all just end. It was sweet.
How many seasons was there? 4?
Of all of it?
No, Better Call Saul.
6. And then the movie, and I don't remember what Breaking Bad had, 6 or something like that as well.
Fair enough.
It's funny because the people on Reddit, you can't slip anything past the people on Reddit. So the 7.5 year sentence from the first episode of Better Call Saul to the last episode of Better Call Saul was 7.5 years. And it's just like, man, you motherfuckers don't miss anything. Like, Jesus Christ. I listen to podcasts about some TV shows that I watch because I'm a nerd. And, like, the creators of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul are like, man, we, like, have to go out of our way. Because, like, if you fuck up one fucking thing, these people are like, oh, this happened, that fucking happened.
Pick it apart.
And it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, people pick everything apart.
You got anything for us there, Zachary?
I have some would you rathers if you want, and I also have some interesting factuals.
Let's bring out them factuals.
You want the factuals first?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
I like facts.
So, Apparently, rabies has a 99% mortality rate. You can have rabies for an entire year without symptoms, and once you have symptoms, it's already too late. There's only between 15 and 20 people who have ever survived having rabies.
Damn,
Jesus.
that's crazy.
There's actually only, a Zeppelin, a blimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only 25 in the entire world.
Really?
Remember the Hindenburg?
Yeah.
Yeah, tragedy. Haagen-Dazs has no meaning in any language.
Really?
That's my favorite brand of ice cream.
Really?
Shout out.
Which one though?
Chocolate peanut butter.
Ooh, fire.
I'm
I like the
literally
Magnums.
addicted to that shit.
The Magnum ones.
Yeah, those are good. The
Yeah.
caramel one's good.
Yeah.
I fucking love ice cream.
What about you? What's your ice cream go-to from the slidable cabinet?
Ooh, I don't really know when it comes to Haagen-Dazs.
No, just any sort of ice cream thing, like an Oreo ice cream sandwich, and it's a kadoozy.
Oh, like
Nice
a
pull.
popsicle kind of thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, no,
anything
the
from
Magnum is a whole different brand. He means if we walk to the Max right
you
now and we
slid
all
the
slide that
icebox
fucking
thing open. What are you
bitch
grabbing?
open, what are you
The
grabbing?
chocolate cup of ice cream with the wooden spoon.
The fucking ice cream
Those
truck
are
pulls
good.
up. The ice cream truck
Yo.
pulls up. It's got all the every option you
And
could
guess
think
what? He's got change for a 20.
Of. Yeah, they never have change somehow.
They never
right?
have change. So, but this guy does. So it's up to you, man.
There's only one that I can really think of off the top of my head.
Let's try to guess it.
You guys probably won't.
Is it
guess
the ice cream sandwich with the chocolate chip cookies?
No,
The SpongeBob.
dude.
Is it?
Yo.
Dang.
Straight up, yo.
Sick.
This fucking SpongeBob, yeah, man.
With the
fucking-
little gumball nose.
Yeah, with the gumball nose, yeah, man.
Good
the
job,
fucking
Fred.
SpongeBob.
Nice.
I have no idea
Straight
why I
up,
picked
yo.
that one. Wavelengths.
I was literally thinking about it in my head, man. The
Wavelengths.
SpongeBob one, yeah, man. That's
Dang.
probably like my go-to when those little ice cream truck rolls around. The SpongeBob, yeah. And then when you get it, it's like the face is all like mangled and shit. It's not.
Yeah, it
doesn't
looks
even
like
look
a
Gumball way over here.
Yeah.
It looks like the sea sponge that's been washing dishes for like 6 years already.
Yeah, man, that was a good guess.
That was a good guess.
SpongeBob.
That's wild, actually, though, because I like literally buy Haagen-Dazs ice cream all the fucking time in the tub at Walmart and shit, like the little 1 liter pint or whatever. And I've often thought to even like in Vegas when my parents and I went when I was in like junior high, there was like a Haagen-Dazs stand and we got these like bomb smoothies and shit. And I remember all the time being like, it must be like German or something. I just assumed it was.
Yeah, it sounds German. I
Yeah.
assumed it was
I
German.
just assumed it was like Austrian or German, some shit like that. But it literally means nothing anywhere. So
In
is that
any
somebody's
language.
name or what?
It just doesn't mean anything. They just picked a name randomly, apparently.
A couple random fucking
Google
words.
actual Haagen-Dazs and bring up their Wikipedia and just see if it says anything to do with the name. I don't even know how to spell Haagen-Dazs.
H-A-G-G.
U-G-N?
2 A's.
H-A-A-G-E-N.
Spell the Dawes part though, because y'all be fucked up.
D-A-U-S?
No.
D-A-Z... Z?
Z.
H.
Hagen Dash.
Yeah, you never fucking know. Those
No,
guys are
keep going.
fucked.
It's D-A-Z what? Keep
Z,
going.
you
S.
fucking Yanks.
Oh, whatever.
D-A-Z-S?
Yeah.
Good job. I literally look at that shit every day and I couldn't spell it.
Das.
In the meantime, while I look this up, I guess I can't go to facts because I need to read it while I'm looking it up. Origin and brand name.
Or like, yeah, where's it even from? Like
Danish. Oh, wait.
Danish.
Hold on here. Is an American ice cream brand established by Reuben and Rose Mattis in the Bronx, New York in 1960.
Sick.
The company operates worldwide and produces ice cream bars, ice cream cakes, sorbet, frozen yogurt, and gelato.
Gelato.
Yeah. So, the origin of the brand name. Reuben Mattis invented the phrase Haagen-Dazs in a quest for a brand name that he claimed was Danish sounding. However, the company's pronunciation of the name ignores the letters A and Z and letters like A with an umlaut with the 2 little dots on top.
What's that called?
An umlaut.
Umlaut?
Yeah, it's German for the 2 little. Anyways, and Z's do not exist in Danish. According
Imagine making up words for a language
That-
and using letters that
That's
don't
right.
exist
So-
in that language.
But that just goes to the point that it literally means fuck all. Like I was just trying to sound cool. It's like those. Remember Prozac?
Yeah.
So they're from Saskatchewan and they had like British accents.
Yeah.
So they come up with something like a persona, a brand name,
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
like
yeah.
sound.
When
like
I found out those
fetch.
guys were Canadian, I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. And then I found out they were from Saskatchewan. I was like, get the
Right?
fuck
Yeah,
outta
that's
here.
crazy.
They have to be the biggest band out ever come out of Saskatchewan.
They must have a really strange disease.
Strange to say.
You kind of get those growing up in Saskatchewan.
Okay, dragonflies generate.
Hold on. Shot of penicillin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Grain of salt and
Grain
a shot of
shot-
penicillin.
Yeah. Grain
that-
of salt and a shot of penicillin.
What are you referencing there?
Mr. Royal.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
but I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a terrible. I hated that when he said that.
People.
Yeah. I brought it up because it used to drive Nico fucking
Really?
wild. Yeah.
Well, when you say what's a shot of salt or no?
a grain,
a
take
grain
it
of
with a
salt.
grain of salt.
Yeah.
That just was part. I almost removed that from my vernacular because every time I would say it, he'd be like, "And a shot of penicillin."
Yes, that's
every single time,
Yes.
dude. So then every time I'd
Damn,
say
you
it,
guys have
I-
fucking PTSD.
I
from
would look
fucking-
over at Nico because he was always in the middle, and he would just be like.
I would get the
look at
looks
me.
from him for certain things too, but
Yeah, man. That was one thing that kind of bugged me. It's just like, and a shot of penicillin.
sometimes people in
just
the
like,
journalistic world get kind of caught up on like catchphrases and like
Yeah.
certain words or certain vocab to like they're like motto. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if I was solo with Pierre or if he was here, but there's one episode where I slip and say a grain of salt, and then I turn and I point at him and I go, and a shot of penicillin, and I say it at the exact same time that he says it.
Well, I still have the episode that I never aired. I still have it
Oh,
on my hard drive.
the,
and then I-
the hockey debate.
yes,
that
but then I also have
almost
the,
broke apart our
the
podcast.
bullshit ones that we like were practicing.
Yeah,
when
the
we
Yeah,
first
yeah.
was on the hard
4 or
drive.
5.
I'd like to make like a super cut of all the dumb shit we were talking
Do
about.
it.
One day
for
we have
sure.
to have him back if he.
I was
agrees to
just
do
thinking
it.
of that. Maybe on like episode 50 or
To
something.
do
we'll
it.
have
Well, I'd like to continue to hear about the book. I really would.
it would be cool. Well, it's those things take a while. So even if it's in
It'll be years,
10, 15
yeah.
weeks, I'm sure he'll still be working on it. Like the editing alone to go into that.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be like a 2 or 3 year process to
Probably,
get
yeah.
a book published. I would imagine.
I haven't
don't
seen
know.
him in quite some time, but I'm sure he's still freaking grinding.
One
away.
day when I left here, I drove down Jasper Ave instead of 103rd Ave, and he was just standing on the side of the street with his dog.
Yeah.
I almost thought about stopping and saying hi to him, and I was like, yeah, he doesn't really want to see me. Last I heard, he wanted to fight me, so I don't think he really wants to see me. But anyway, next fact.
Okay, dragonflies generate forces of up to 9G in turns. So 9
Damn.
times the gravity. So 9 times, what is it? 9.81 meters per second squared or whatever.
Is that what that means?
For that's the gravitational force of the Earth's core pulling down.
Yeah, like
on you.
technically, like 1G is just life, right?
It's just
One
us standing
gravity-
here.
Yeah, so
yeah.
right now, yeah, so these guys can do the gravitational magnitude of 9 times that. So what it says is
And don't astronauts have to be able to do like 4 or something?
I think they have to do 6, but it's matching the best fighter jets. So it's saying they can do 9 Gs, which is matching the best fighter jets, while also being able to hover and to move laterally and backwards like a helicopter. They can reach top speeds of 35 miles per hour,
Damn.
more than 3 times the speed of the fastest aircraft in terms of body lengths traveled per second,
Damn.
which is pretty crazy. It's like hummingbirds. These things can just do some weird ass shit.
Yeah,
That
that's
goes
the
against
slowest of slow motions.
that
frame
goes
by
against
frame, you can
basically
still
like
even never
yeah,
get their wing.
yeah, man. It goes against everything you know about physics, but somehow they're flapping their wings faster than Nico.
And that's fast.
That's fast. There's enough water in Lake Superior to cover North and South America in water 1 foot deep.
Damn.
Damn is right.
Mhm.
North and South America?
In water 1 foot deep.
So wait, does that mean they know how deep Lake Superior is?
I'm pretty sure they've probably come up with some sort of equation to map out the topography of it and then find out the
Because
cubic.
from what I understand, the Okanagan is so deep. That's what it's called, right? Lake Okanagan, that Kelowna's on?
Okanagan, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that's so deep in places that they literally don't know how deep it is. Like they don't have the thing to measure. They know how. That can't be true because I guess they have estimates.
Well, it's
on
probably
it.
something akin to like radar, right? They can
Yeah.
send out waves and see where the walls like fucking. And
Yeah,
then they got to
yeah.
come up with some sort of like approximate value for how much water's in there.
Yeah.
And then they take whatever the not circumference, but like the, you know what I mean, like the land mass or the land size of whatever North and South America are. And
Yeah, and then spread it out.
Yeah. But
My
I'm sure
old
they.
boss at the jewelry company. Like this is probably like 4 or 5 years ago, before I started working at the company. They were in Kelowna. He was standing on a boat. Another guy at my company ran and cross-bodied him off of the boat.
Sick.
He was wearing Louis Vuitton sunglasses and like a $30,000 necklace. When he came out of the water, he was no longer wearing Louis Vuitton sunglasses or a $30,000 18 karat and diamond necklace and pendant.
Damn.
Yeah, and then apparently he looked into like literally getting like a miniature submarine to go in there and find this fucking thing.
Why doesn't he just get a snorkel and a headlamp?
Because apparently that bitch is so deep that they were literally
Oh,
like,
shit.
we can't. Like where you think you lost it, we can't get to the bottom of that. Like that.
Should we go try to find it?
That's,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
30
like
G's,
there was a
baby.
joke at our company, like because like the piece that was lost was like a Canadian Diamond Boys piece. It was like our logo, and those are all serialized. All of them that have been made, we know exactly. Well, they know, we know, whatever exactly which one it is, who should have it, all the specs about it. They're serialized, and on our like serialized sheet, we wrote Ogopogo. That's who's got that one, the fucking Ogopogo.
I got a question.
What's that?
Say you have a watch.
Yeah,
It could be hot.
yeah.
You take it to a jeweler to get it appraised.
Yeah.
Is there any way the jeweler will know that it is hot?
Probably like a pawn shop does. If it's been stolen, then
I'm talking
it's-
about like a legit
No,
jeweler.
he like if you bought a Rolex from Gio Moro, there's a card that comes with the Rolex that
Okay.
says the serial number, the make, the model, all that shit.
Yeah.
When you take apart a Rolex, one like the serial number is on right here and right here. One of them has like the serial number, so if all three of us had the same Rolex, all three of those numbers would be the same. The opposite number is like an individualized number.
Okay.
So if I stole your watch and I went to Gio Moro, I mean I'm assuming that they would do this. They would search that thing up and see. That being said, how do they know you didn't sell it to me?
Exactly.
So I'm not necessarily sure they could say it was stolen. Maybe you
I'm
could
sure
mark it as stolen.
watches of that value would come with a bill of sale. No.
Oh fuck yeah! And most of the time, the people get them appraised and insured. If you're, depends who you are, but what your priorities are. But
Yeah.
Should get my G-Shock insured
there you go. What I got on
for
Volvo.
$77 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, so do when people buy watches, do they like? Does it go in like a database that shows?
Not at the store that I worked at.
That's yeah. I kind of figured that as much. But like, say I go and buy a watch from wherever,
Gio Moro would be the
Moro,
place in Edmonton that you could buy like
They-
a Rolex.
They fucking do they like punch in serial number, this guy's name, blah blah blah. We are selling it to him.
I would assume so because I don't think it's as true, as like with Ferrari, but like there's some Ferraris that you literally can't get unless you already own other Ferraris and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'm not even like the biggest fan of him, but apparently Brendan Shaw has like a couple Ferraris, and he was saying the story like he just happened to on a plane or a restaurant, whatever, run into a guy who was like a big deal at Ferrari, and he didn't even know, and they were just talking, and he was like, blah blah blah. One thing led to another, and the guy's like, "Yo, I can get you one of those," and he was like, "Shut the fuck up," and he's like, "No, like, I work at Ferrari, blah 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 blah. Like, I could skip the line, whatever the fuck." And Brendan Schaub's like calling his accountant, like, "Yo, sell 6 fucking vehicles and mortgage my house. I don't give a fuck. We're buying this Ferrari. Like, I don't
Damn.
fucking care." But apparently there is other Ferraris and stuff like that you have to already own a Ferrari to purchase that Ferrari. And then the same thing, yet again, I don't know, I don't own Rolexes, but from people I knew in that industry and hearing them talk, you can go and like put your name on a list at Gio Moro, but if you're looking to buy your first Rolex, and they've already sold me 3,
Yeah.
and then a brand new fucking Rolex comes in, it's sick as fuck. Who do you think they're gonna call first, me
Yeah.
or you?
Yeah, exactly. The guy's already got 3.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So there is stuff like that. But that being said, the old car dealership that I used to work at, the president or whatever the fuck GM of that dealership reached out to me when I was then working at the jewelry store and asked, like, "You guys have any Rolexes? I'm looking to buy one." Da 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 da. According to people in that industry, regular civilians will have a super hard time finding them. You always have to get them. I saw the guy like 2 months later, and he had a Pepsi. There's a certain Rolex where the band that spins around, they'll make them different colors, and then they get nicknames. Like, for instance, his is red and blue, so they call it a Pepsi. There's some that'll be black and blue, that's a Batman. There's some that
Okay.
are like different colors of green, that'll be a Hulk. There's another one that's called a Kermit. And they're not actually named that.
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't- But that's the nickname. Oh, there's one that's Google Rolex root beer. It's so nice. Like, it's so nice, the 2 colors of brown. If I had, like, people always ask me all the time because of working there, like, if you could buy a watch, what it would be, I'd either try to get the Rolex one of the root beer Rolexes because I just really like how the brown sits against the gold. Or there's a Wimbledon Rolex where it's green for Wimbledon clearly.
You got the picture
and
up
it's
there?
so fucking nice.
Yeah, but to be brutally honest, I feel like watches are kind of lost on me. It kind of looks like a watch.
I
can understand.
I wear watches my whole life, so I really
I don't wear,
like.
I only wear watches.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, blackface with the brown.
Brown on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of brown on the bottom.
I like that one a lot.
It's pretty sick, but I understand.
Google Rolex Wimbledon.
Okay, I got you.
This one I really like as well. I think it's
Just press. Don't even worry about all that. It'll pop up.
Is that a diamond one?
No, it
think
should
it's
just
that
it should
one
be
right
real
there.
green.
Green in the middle and gold on the outside.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
yeah,
I
and
try
it's
to
just
put
a nice
pictures of
color
these
of
up.
green and all that stuff.
Holy
I
fuck!
think that's a
$21,000 Canadian.
Really nice. Ooh, I don't think that's it actually.
It should be more.
No, I looking at the picture from here, from what I see, I just don't think that was it. Whatever, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, find them and send me a picture of them.
Yeah, they're just nice Rolexes, but
I usually get my watches from Wish.com. So.
that being said, like, I'm not necessarily sure if I had the money I'd ever buy a Rolex. I mean, they are pretty decent investment pieces.
That's
to be
what they
honest with you.
say.
It's good liquid equity because you.
Well, that's what they say. A Rolex is an investment.
I've
and
literally
the price
seen
of
it.
it'll just go.
I've
always go
seen
up.
like my old boss, like, whatever, Cody. I've seen him be like, not like half regretful, being like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have sold Zach that fucking president at $70K. Like I fucking knew I should have held on to that." Oh, why, man? What's up? Because that was 6 months ago, and now it's going for 90, and it's like, what?
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Like some of them actually increase. There's an Instagram page called like Watch Tracker or something, and it'll tell you if the value of your watch goes up or not. And Rolexes are often on it. Anyway, enough of me rambling. What's our next fucking facto, or would I rather?
I got a would you rather for you guys.
Sure.
Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste?
Shampoo.
Shampoo. Not even a question.
Yeah.
That's one of the easier ones you've ever given us.
Is
And
it? I
this is
thought it
coming
would
from
be.
a long-haired
I
guy.
thought it'd be easier than that.
If I go fucking a couple
harder than
days
that.
without shampoo in my hair, the scalp gets all sore, your hair gets all greasy,
get
but
that-
there's not a
that
chance I would
psoriasis?
go without fucking toothpaste.
Okay, here's one for you then. Would you rather lose the ability to cry or cry every day for 20 minutes randomly? So you can never cry again, or you got to cry 20 minutes, but it happens randomly every day.
Damn, that one's better.
Because what happens if you watch Mind Girl with Macaulay Culkin and you can no longer cry to it? Then it ruins the whole
I
movie.
didn't even seen that
That
movie.
is the
You-
saddest fuck.
you
movie.
never
I don't even
seen
get
that
that
movie?
reference, but it was
That's-
just so funny how
it's
you
a
said
pretty
it.
good
It's a
movie.
sad as fuck movie.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin
Gets stung
is
by bees.
he's allergic to bees, and like they're growing up together. They're like, I don't know.
12,
Yeah, they're
11.
not like, are they boyfriend and girlfriend?
They're just like
They're on their
children.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then fucking Macaulay Culkin ends up getting stung by like a shitload of bees. Eh?
Yeah.
It's just a swarm
And you-
attack.
Well, because they discover this bee hive in the forest, and they kind of disturb it, and the bees chase them, and they run together as friends and jump off the dock into the water. It's like a coming of age, like.
Oh, they do it often.
No, they do it
fucking-
this once, but then he goes back later after they split up, and then he disturbs the nest again and gets stung to death.
Yeah, and then she's
Stupid.
like crying and shit, and it's
And her
Idiot.
father owns a
It's sad.
funeral home that is going to like prepare the body, so she has to interact. It's a crazy. You should watch it.
it is a sad story.
Yeah.
I would. I'd never cry again.
I think I'd do the opposite, man. Sometimes you need a good cry. I'm
And
a bit
that's
of a
the
crier,
thing.
though. Sometimes I'll be... Dude, like, when Dave Semenko died,
Oh yeah.
I don't even really know anything about the fuck guy. Never met the guy. Never fucking... Didn't even watch the... Like, was barely alive when the Oilers were doing that. And I remember driving in my car listening to, like, people calling in and, like, telling stories and shit, former Oilers. And I was, like, tearing up. Never even met the fucking guy. Tearing up in my car.
I've had things like that happen where I've literally just watching something and I just like start to get a tear because
Yeah, I mean, not trying to say... But you're a bit of a crier, too.
yeah, crying is good for the soul, man. It cleanses
dude,
the
so
soul.
So then why
yeah.
would you choose never to cry again?
Because I don't want to cry every 20 fucking minutes.
it
No,
doesn't.
once
That's
a day
once a
for
day
20
for 20
minutes.
minutes.
Oh.
But that being said, you could be randomly... You could be...
You could be at the
fucking
till,
middle
she'll
of
be
a
like
soccer game, and all
$20,
of a
you could
sudden
be-
you just start crying.
You could be at the
Yeah,
till and she'll say $20. You can be like, just the big snot running out of it.
Big old bubble. Pop.
You clean it. Oh,
Yeah, with that being said, I would probably go every 20 or the
Once a
20
day for
once a
20
day for
minutes.
20
It
minutes.
would
'cause
get
that's
real
not that
weird,
bad.
but like honestly, how many people that you actually care about their opinion do you interact with every day? And I just be like, yo, man, I got this condition.
yeah,
Man.
man.
Fucking cry.
Crippleus.
Don't worry about
Cry
it.
every once in a while.
But like, man, I remember like we have a friend that we grew up with who kind of had a tough life, and some people passed away in his family. I'm not trying to air out his business, but Nico and I are at one of his family members' funerals,
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
in the funeral home or the church, sorry, and Nico's sitting there. A friend of ours named Sean is sitting there. Josh, who's been on the podcast before, is sitting there, and I'm sitting there. I'm trying my heart. Like we're still in those teenage years where like you think that crying makes you a bitch and like unmanly or whatever. I'm trying my like this shit's heart wrenching, dude. It's a very tragic thing that happened to our friend. It's very very tragic, and it was a very depressing place to be. I'm fucking trying as hard as I can to hold back tears. Like I'm trying so fucking hard. I look down the pew, Sean crying, Nico crying. I'm like, fuck it. Give it up. I start crying. Josh, straight face.
Stone cold, man.
Stone cold.
Steve Austin.
After the fucking funeral, I was like, bro, like, I remember this vividly. We're all outside smoking a cigarette, a joint or whatever. I was like, dude, do you have a soul? I was like, do you have a soul, man?
What did he
Like,
say?
he was just like, he was like, yeah, but I was like, man, like, how are you not, like, yet again, I'm not trying to go into what it is, but what was happening in that moment was some real fucking shit, like, very dark shit. And I'm just like, how? And he was just like, I don't know, man. Like, it just... I'm not saying that I've seen Josh cry. I've known the guy since I was 8 years old. It's not like he's immune to it. But it was just... I don't know, man. Not being able to cry in a situation like that, like, I don't know, man. Actually, I don't know if I asked... I think I asked him if he was a sociopath or if he had a soul. I asked him one of those two things because I was like, dude, how? Like, how the fuck? Because that was fucked up.
I remember going to my buddy's mom.
You remember that day before you remember that day? 'Cause
Yeah, I
this-
remember that day. Yeah, that was the first funeral.
the first, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember going to my buddy's funeral. Not my buddy's funeral. Sorry, my buddy's mom's funeral, and I knew her, and like we knew each other. I used to hang out at his house all the time, but like when I was there, I wasn't crying because she had passed away. I was crying because I could see the pain in my buddy's eyes, which in turn made me
Compassion.
yeah, which in turn made me cry. It's like, yo, I see my buddy up there. He's like trying to be super strong, and he's like crying and shit. And I'm just like, damn, that man is hurting. Which in turn makes me hurt for him. And it's just like, fuck. Shed them tears, man. Fuck it.
I know
Gives a
that,
fuck.
dude. Like at my Baba's funeral, I remember like I got like a little sad, but not as much as like a lot of my other cousins and stuff. Cause like my Baba was like 89 years old or something. My grandpa, her husband had died like a month before I was born, and she died when I was in the 12th grade. So I was like 16 or 17 or whatever. Like that's a long time to live without your significant other. She lived solo until like the day she died, all that shit. So I remember just being like, yo, she was ready to go. Like
Yeah.
she told us she was ready to go. She didn't want life support. She didn't want none of that shit. Super religious woman. Like, yo, when God comes, I'm going. Like, I'm not fighting it. I'm ready to go see my husband, blah, 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 blah. So I wasn't necessarily sad, but like, to the best of my knowledge, that's the only time I've seen my dad cry. And that fucked me up. Like, I remember looking, like, it's his mom. Like, I'm not saying anything about my dad. That's his mom just passed away. No one's ever ready for that, regardless of what age you are, in my opinion. Unless you have a shit mom. But, like, that fucked me up. Like, seeing my dad cry as, like, a 60-year-old man or whatever he was, 50 whatever. That was fucked up.
Yeah, man. Seeing pain in other people's eyes that you care about, that'll fuck you up.
And then it just got me instantly thinking, like, man, I am not ready for my parents to pass away. That's a thought that goes through my head way more than it should, man. Like, once you move out of living with your parents' house, and like I lived at home way longer than I should have, but once you move out, you get closer with your parents, and like the relationship actually gets stronger. And like, man, like I have old parents. We've discussed this before. My dad's like 70, my mom's 60 something. And like I got old parents, and like fuck, man. I have a friend of mine that I grew up with. His dad was our soccer coach growing up. Rest in peace, fucking Chris Nozak. Shout out to Curtis. His dad died like 2 years ago or something, 4 years ago from brain cancer, and like that guy's the same age as me, man. And his dad was younger than my dad. I'm just like, fuck, I'm not ready for that. I just like totally killed the mood of this podcast, but
It's all
not
good.
ready for that.
I know what you mean.
It makes you want to like spend more time with them, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, I'm an asshole son. Like, I should just go over there on Sunday nights and just hang out with my parents. But it's like, well, fuck, I'm gonna go home, fucking go play Pokemon Go. It's like, buddy, you're an idiot, man. 10 years, 20 years, fuck, Lord willing, whatever fucking happens, on whatever, hopefully as long as it can be, you're gonna look back and be like, you fucking moron. Why weren't you sitting there watching fucking 60 Minutes with
Or
your
playing
parents?
crib with the moms or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean.
Me too, man.
It's fucked up.
All right, well.
On that note, please rate, review, subscribe, share, comment. This has been another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Gang, gang, gang.